Hi everyone, it's Toby from Toby's Urban Sketch. Thank you for joining me. Today's sort of tips, tricks video is all about sketching loose. So if you watch my videos, follow me on Instagram, you'll know I sketch and paint loose. And it's what I love doing, and it's what I find most interesting, most rewarding. But it's also the question I get asked the most. How do you do it? How can I get started? How can I loosen up? So here are my top tips on exactly how to loosen up. So let's get started with tip one, and tip one is all about our pen. So what's important about the pen is not just the pen we're using or how we use it or whatever. It actually starts really more simple than that. It's how do we hold our pen? So for example, when you're writing with your pen, you tend to be holding it quite firmly. You have a sort of almost a death grip on it. It needs to be really held tight so that you can draw those fine details. And my handwriting's terrible, as you can see. But the further away we hold it, pretty much the worse the handwriting will get. Now, the thing about sketching, to sketch loose, we need a loose grip. We want to be holding it sort of further down the pen. So we take our grip from the very end and we bring it all the way back. And that is tip number one. It sounds simple, it sounds easy, and that's because it really is. And all these tips are simple things, but they do actually make a difference. It's worth having a little think about the kind of pen we're using as well. It's easier to sketch loose, I find, something like a fountain pen, simply because you can hold it looser and still get a good ink flow compared to a fine liner where you have to hold it a little bit tighter, a little bit more vertical to still get a good flow of ink. Step two also isn't rocket science, but it does take a little bit of practice, and it's all about grabbing those shapes. So working out the shapes, starting with the shapes, or sometimes starting with the outlines and then popping the shapes inside of those. And we can explore that with this little sketch here, for example. And you can see that though this scene is really complicated, as we move along it, we're able to just find the outline at the top, and we're able to build up this street, which looks incredibly complicated. But actually, when we finish building it up, it's just a series of squares and triangles and really simple, really easy shapes. It just takes a little bit of thinking, a bit of deconstruction, and we can turn anything, no matter how complicated, into these basic building blocks. And before you know it, these basic building blocks turn into a fabulous, fantastic, colourful, alive sketch. So tip number three is forget the details, or don't count the windows. These things just really don't matter as much as we often think they do. You can create something really complex just through those simple shapes we've been talking about. So if we take this little sketch of Westminster Abbey, Westminster Abbey is so complicated, but all I've done is really pop in a few vertical lines, graph some big shapes on. I've certainly not counted how many of those lines are supposed to be there. I've not counted the windows. And the same can be said for so much of the art I do. And I like it, and I get good feedback from it. So that leads me to believe that actually my approach to details, not counting windows, popping in what seems right, getting those big shapes and getting the essence rather than the exactness of a scene is not the way to go, but it's certainly a way to go, and certainly a fun way to sketch and to help you sketch loose. And now we're on to tip number four, and tip number four is experiment. Take some experimental approaches with your line work, and my favourite version of this, of course, is continuous line drawing. A little exercise you could do today is sit on your sofa and draw your armchair, or sit in front of dinner and sketch it before you eat. And just take 2 or 3 minutes to see what shapes you can grab, and just consider how you might use that in a bigger sketch tomorrow, for example. I've also been showing you the sketch earlier of that long street, and if I show it you again, you'll notice basically a continuous line drawing. These kind of things, they force you to simplify, to loosen up, and to have fun, basically. So I'd really recommend this. It's probably my hottest tip, is have a bit of fun, experiment, and try some continuous line drawing. Whilst we're experimenting, having fun, doing different things, we're going to make mistakes. And tip number five, or I'm going to call this one a rule, is mistakes don't matter. So occasionally, yes, occasionally you'll make a mistake so big. Maybe your pen will split open, there'll be ink everywhere, and you just can't do anything with that piece of paper anymore. But broadly speaking, for most of the mistakes we make, they don't matter. No one will notice them except you. We could take a silly example. So if I draw a little still life, draw a nice apple, draw another one, but oh, I made it too small. Well, look, if I just make it a bit bigger, now it's just an apple with some character. Pop a banana behind, and then, oh no, I forgot to draw the banana in front. So I'll just draw it in front over the top of my other lines. Again, it's just an interesting way of looking at things now. It's just an interesting piece of sketching. I challenge you to go on Instagram or YouTube, find someone whose art you admire, have a look and just think, now if I did this, would I find these things quirky and cool, or would I find that actually there's lots of mistakes here? And then have another look at your work and take a step back and just go, well, you know what, there are mistakes, but actually they're things I admire in other people's work, and learn to love them, learn to find them interesting, and then gradually learn to work out the ones which actually you really don't like and you want to avoid. But the first step is definitely to understand mistakes do not matter. And here we are, we're on to tip 6. And what is tip 6? It is, of course, practice, but also expect the practice to be imperfect. So I thought I'd give you a brief sketchbook tour. And if we just look in this, you'll see there's all sorts. There are line drawings, there's urban sketches with watercolor, there's watercolors, there's things which obviously have not gone the direction that I wanted them to. I then thought maybe I should show you another sketchbook, but actually, what if I just show you this sketchbook, and this one, and this one, and this one? You get the idea. And these are just the sketchbooks I've used for the last few months, and I can promise you they are not filled with works of art. What they are filled with is me having fun, trying things out, relaxing, doing a scene 4 or 5 times, sometimes getting very frustrated in the middle of that, but fundamentally then eventually it works because I strip it back and just relax and enjoy the process. And each of these sketchbooks represents a little bit of fun, a little bit of history, and also a little bit of improvement.